Okay. All right, you guys. So I've had a lot of people just like reach out because, oh shoot, this better not do that the whole time. You know, a lot of people feel like at first when we like dive into this and we're like, okay, let's start building your list. Let's start diving into your business. Like, who do you know? Things like that. It's so like natural for us to start network marketing like that. But what happens after you start to go through those people? We never want you to feel like you hit that point where all of a sudden you're kind of just like stuck, or you don't necessarily know who to reach out to next. So that's what we really want to just teach you, like the power of social media and really creating like an authentic personal brand that really represents yourself. Before I go any further, will you guys mute your lines? Since I'm screen sharing, you have to mute yourself. Okay, cool. Thanks. Okay. Nope. One of you still needs to mute. It might be Laura. Okay, so we say the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work. And that's why network marketing is so powerful. And we talk about it all the time, but the bigger your audience and the bigger you can build that network of people, the easier this is going to be. And to really look at network marketing in your business as like building toward the future. This isn't something just how much money can you make now? How many times can you rank advanced right now? But really look at it as a long-term thing. And if you're like, oh, I don't have this big network yet, I don't have the audience yet, great, that's okay, celebrate that. This is the opportunity to really dive in and get clear on what you want to create so that you can create that network over time. What's worse, waking up in a couple of years and you still haven't done it and you just feel like this vicious cycle, or putting in the consistent action every day, working toward that so you constantly have new leads coming in, you're constantly building new relationships, expanding that network and being able to expand your team. And that can grow outside of who you currently know. It could even grow global with the power of social media. With the power of social media, we have an unlimited audience with an uncapped income. There's so much power in that. So I'm going to just dive into like the power of organic marketing with social media, where yes, we can dive into like sponsored ads and things like that later, but this is really like, how can you build relationships organically? I'm going to unshare and mute one of you really fast because I can still hear a couple of you. Okay, cool. Hi, Bethany. All right, so this is one thing I love to talk about a lot too, is like if you were to have a brick and mortar business and you were to go have this like dream store location on the corner and you're selling your most favorite thing, you would not rely on your friends and family to build your business. You might at first get excited and be like, check this out, will you guys help promote it, things like that. But after a while, you have to go outside of that. You have to like really get clear on who's the demographic that you're marketing to, understanding marketing news, like creating new marketing strategies for your business, and really starting to get clear on that vision, setting projections, creating a plan of action, creating 90-day like game plans for your business, starting to leverage social media, attending networking events, getting your brand out there, being like, I want every single person to know about my business. The same thing goes for an online business. So you're applying the same principles, it's just in a different realm. So just because you don't have the brick and mortar, it doesn't mean it just changes your strategies. So again, it's like all about starting now and creating value to the customer so they show up, that they hear about it, they start connecting to you, that people know that you're the go-to person for Isagenix. Like it used to be, creating curiosity is like you didn't necessarily promote Isagenix all over the internet. You would want to create curiosity to have them reach out and be like, what is it that you do? But now, because network marketing is just dominating the online marketing space, you want to be so proud that you work for Isagenix and be known in your network and in your community for the go-to person for Isagenix. So be bold with it and like really take this opportunity of like, how can I live out loud so that everybody is like knows what I'm doing from a place coming from value, that you're really educating them, inspiring them, empowering people so that when they hear someone be like, I need to lose weight, or I'm lacking energy, or I'm exhausted, they know exactly who to send them to, and that's you. Biggest thing, don't wait for the after photo. And this is like where I really want to stress is like when we talk like building a personal brand, like really building your audience on social media, you can allow people into your journey. This photo, I love posting this photo and I've gotten so many new enrollments and attention from it. But that was after 2 years. That was after I enrolled 75 people under me. That was after people had watched my journey because I allowed them in the process. But when I first started, it was more just like, I'm on day 3, I'm on day 10, I'm on day 21. I was checking it at Orange Theory. I was saying how much my life was shifting, how I felt different. So what happened all of a sudden 2 years later when I post this? People are like, I have been watching your journey for a few years now. I've watched your transformation. So if you commit to anything, commit to just being bold and being transparent and living out loud and really showing the journey, the struggles, the hardships. I ran into someone at church this past weekend and he's like, I love your transparency that sometimes you post about like you were in tears last week because entrepreneurship isn't always easy. That's real. That's raw. That's bold. That's like allowing people in to see what's really going on, but then they can see where you're going and the celebrations and the success and the growth. That if you go into this being like, every person I know is going to hop on board eventually. Every person I know is going to say yes to me eventually. I just need to add value. I need to inspire them. I need to empower them, and I need to attract the right people, and the right people show up. And the more consistent you are, they will show up. And it's all about allowing them on the journey of your transformation. So what makes you truly authentic? You look at other people, it's so easy to start comparing yourself to other people, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're building so fast, or they have such a great brand, or their consistency is amazing, or whatever. Who cares about them? Allow it to inspire you, but get clear on who you are and who you want to attract. So we talk about like building a personal brand. Yes, your business is a professional brand, but who you're going to attract is based on who you are as a personal brand. So that's really like, get clear on what type of content will you be posting. We're going to dive into content strategies tonight in the visual aspect. What are the values? We stress this a lot. Like, what do you represent and who are you? Like, what are the core values that like you represent as a person? So for example, Laura's on here. Hers, it's very clear. It's family, fun, and freedom. When you go to mine's really more about like my faith and building freedom, and now really incorporating more legacy into it and community. What values represent you as a person, but also values you that represent why you're attracted to Isagenix. And then those are going to be your posts. That is where you should never run out of content, because you can always go back to what inspires you. Who is your current audience, and what kind of audience would you like to attract? Do an audit of your business right now. Even if you have 200 followers on Instagram or Facebook, or you have 10,000, do an audit. Go through who's liking your photos. Who is liking your Insta stories? Who is following you? Are you noticing current trends? What's the demographic? Are they moms, or are they older women, or are they young millennials? Like, who is it? Is it more women? Is it men? Is it couples? Get really clear on who the current audience is, but then get very clear on who you want to attract. We can stress a lot like your avatar, your niche, like riches are in the niches. The more clear you get on who you want to attract, the easier it's going to be for you. That's great at first, but don't get so stuck on that when you can really open it up and be like, Isagenix is for everybody, and you want to be able to impact and change everybody's life. However, when you're writing content, the more clear you can get, the more you're going to attract that one person, which we'll talk about more at the end of this with content strategy. What do you want to achieve as the brand? Like, what do you want people to ultimately feel from you when they go to your personal page? I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is just social media, like it's just Instagram or it's just Facebook, but it's true. Like, when you truly get clear on that brand of like, how do you really want people to feel when they go to that, that's going to make such a big difference. When people go to mine, I want them to be so inspired and uplifted and feel like they can believe in anything and they can go after their dreams. I speak to the entrepreneur. So it's like, you have to really get clear on like, what is that message that you're trying to get across? What do you stand for? What are you most knowledgeable and passionate about? Get clear on like what you love about Isagenix. What really inspires you? Is it the product knowledge? Is it the results? Is it the transformations? Is it the business? For me right now, it's like freeing people from financial struggle. Like, I am all in on leading with the business right now and helping people just dream bigger, create more, and create that legacy in their life. But maybe you feel more comfortable leading with products right now, or the transformations. Only you know, but get so clear and write all the things down that you're so knowledgeable about, that you're so passionate about talking about. And again, that will be your list to pull the content from. Then what tone of voice would you like to use? My biggest recommendation is always talk to as if you're talking to one person. If you go live on your Insta stories or you're writing content, I want you to visualize that one person that you want to attract, that one person that you want to help, that avatar that you are like, I could build my whole business around this person. That is the person you need to be talking to, and write as if you're talking just to one person, and always pause in certain levels of content or your live videos and ask, be like, does this resonate with you? Have you ever felt like this? Do you agree? Like, create engagement, because what happens is on the other end of it, they're reading that being like, oh my gosh, I feel like she's talking to me. I feel like this is exactly what I'm going through. How will you best communicate your message to your target audience? Obviously, this is like, Laura stresses a lot, like hers is voice. Like, she loves jumping on her lives every single day in Strong Confident Living. That's how she adds value to her target audience. What is yours? Do you love going on video? Then start doing lives on your Facebook page. Start doing lives on your Instagram page. Maybe just doing Insta stories. Or are you a good writer? Do you love the content and writing? You have to find what works for you and what is going to what your audience is going to receive from you best. And then who are you? This is the opportunity to truly step into the role. Like, yes, you might do a million other things in your life. You might have multiple jobs. This could be super part-time for you. I want you to think long-term. Right now, is it worth talking about your current job if you want to build a business with Isagenix long-term? No. So start to create the posture as the expert within health and wellness, within network marketing. Own it. Be like, okay, maybe I'm not there yet, but I'm going to take the posture that I already am, because that's who you want to attract. So I want to be a top leader in Isagenix. Am I there yet? No, but I'm going to start to take that posture and forecast that and really represent myself that online as a professional network marketer. So even if you are a massage therapist right now, but your long-term vision is to go full-time with Isagenix, then only talk about Isagenix. Obviously talk about the values in your life and the personal things you're going through in your family and your love life and all that stuff that makes you who you are, but only sell one thing. And this is the biggest thing I learned this past year, as I was really selling the beauty industry and business coaching and Isagenix and all these things. But if you went to my page, you'd be like, do I buy this, or do I buy this, or should I be a part of this team, or should I reach out to her for this? No, get so clear and go 100% deep and say, I am owning that I'm a network marketing professional with Isagenix, and that if you want to work with me, that is what you're going to reach out to me for. If you want to be a part of my life, my team, my business, my mentorship, this is where it is at. You create you. You need to take that posture that I just said and start to get really clear. So these are some Instagram examples that if you go to their pages, you know exactly what to expect. So Audrey, for example, is one of the youngest millionaires in Isagenix. She put leading women towards their healthiest, wealthiest, most confident selves. Company millionaire, lover of Jesus and marriage, join our team. When you go to her page, do you know exactly what to expect? Absolutely. She is attracting women, and they're all usually young women. She wants to attract people with faith. She always talks about her marriage. You know exactly what to do, and it says join our team. If you go to Cameron's one of the youngest income earners in Isagenix, but she's living in Bali. So she really stresses redefining normal, live extraordinary, Bali-based, network marketing income earner. She really represents the lifestyle entrepreneur aspect of network marketing. Building leaders and six-figure earners. Are you ready? Emily Bavra, one of the top millionaires in the company, owns it. Seven-figure network marketer, here to make an impact. Try my 30-day fat burning system. I've changed mine to lifestyle entrepreneur. I help you create more impact and income. Wake up and eat business for breakfast with me, because eventually I'm going to launch my podcast. But the point is, you don't have to be a top income earner. You don't have to be a company millionaire, but get very clear on who you want to attract so that when they come to their page, they know exactly who you are and what they're going to get from you. The other thing when I mean you create you is these people, as you build your network and as you build your audience, they don't know you. So tell them what you want them to know about you. Step into that, own who you are and be like, okay, if this is what I'm working toward, this is what I'm going to put, because that's who I want them to see me as. They don't necessarily have to know your whole background, or that you're transitioning, or that you're now just building a business, or that you're just starting. Where are you going? Forecast that vision. Forward speak your vision so that they see you for that. They see you as the expert. So get really clear on that and how you want to step up. Is it more the business side of network marketing, or is it more health and wellness and the product side? Maybe you're going to say I help people like move from blank to blank. Maybe it's I help people who have digestive problems overcome them and feel healthier than ever before. Or I help millennials move away from the 9 to 5 and create a life of freedom. I help people who are ready to retire create more income so they can add like more fun to their years or whatever you want. These are stupid examples, but you get the point. Like get really clear on what your message is, how you want to help. So write that down. I help blank, or I empower blank, or I inspire blank to go from blank. What is that to you? What do you want to transform people on this journey? And who are you helping and getting really clear? I know that's like not very specific because everyone's so different on this call. So take notes as you're watching, and then I can go like individually with you and help you really create yours. And let's rewrite your bio and get really clear on that. These are aesthetic examples. I love talking about this on social media because it makes such a big difference. So I gave perfect examples. How do you feel when you see the one on the left? Like she's in all of them, all the ones I chose are health and wellness. Is that somebody you'd want to join her team? I mean, it might be, but comparing that to then Chelsea, who's one of the top income earners, look how clean hers is. Look at the filters she's using. What do you feel when you see her? Because the other one is like all selfies. It's very sexual. It's all just fitness, and that she's attracting those people that want that. But I know people on this call, that's not your audience. So if you look at Chelsea's though, what do you feel? You feel fun. You feel team. You feel community. You feel welcoming. She's laughing in most of them or smiling. She's engaged. It like literally pulls you into hers and welcomes you in. So I want you guys to really start looking at like your color palettes, your top 12 photos. When people go to yours is what they see. So don't just post a random photo anymore. Start to create themes. Start to look at, okay, what are the next 12 photos that I want to post, and how am I going to create something that's visually appealing, and actually take the time and put that in. Find a friend of yours, or I'll go with you and take photos, like have someone take photos of you, or use certain filters with the apps I'm going to give you, or whatever you want to do to create more of a theme in your content. This one on the left is so unorganized. There's quotes, there's videos, there's before and afters, there's a random meme, there's food. It's all over the place. This just doesn't feel good. It doesn't draw you in and say, oh my gosh, I want to join this person's team. The other thing too is when you use quotes, it lowers your algorithms. So don't use photos with quotes anymore. You put the quote in your content and then create a photo of yourself. I know sometimes you feel like, I don't want to take any more selfies, or I feel vain for posting selfies, but people are naturally drawn to you. So there's research after research that they are drawn to seeing your face. So even though sometimes you feel like you're doing it again, it's okay. Like it is what sucks people in to be like interested in what you're about. If you look at Sydney's one of the she's one of our Start ambassadors, and she like is rocking it right now. But most of her photos, this doesn't really represent it. Most of her photos, she's laughing. She's very like welcoming. You can see like her sitting on her car. It shows like her growth in the company. Her before and after is classy. It's powerful. She talks a lot about team. She talks a lot about her growth and strategy. When you go to her, that's someone that you'd want to join. Same thing with these, the ones on the left. Again, they're okay, and I'm not discrediting or making anyone feel bad. I don't even know these people, but they're just not to the level that it could be. So this one too, the one in the middle, like don't do a ton of selfies standing in the gym flexing your body. That's not going to show someone the lifestyle of it. That just looks like I live at the gym and all I care about is my sexy body. That doesn't show people like, join me on this journey, allow into the bigger part of network marketing. And that's what I mean by like, get really clear on what it is that inspires you about network marketing and in your life, and really start to step into that. So then you look at the right, Natalie Mallory is the light pink one right there. And she is just crushing her business. Every 4 photos, she features someone making money on her team. She's showing team her growth as a leader. She has the perfect color palette that fits her brand. She really promotes the Babe Brigade. So it is all about like pink and girly and sassy and feminine. I know this isn't for everybody. There's a lot of people probably on this call that's like, that doesn't speak to me. It's just an example to find what speaks to you and how can you create more consistency in your visuals and your photos for every 12 photos. And then Audrey's crushing it. Again, she's all about like her husband with the man bun and community and team and traveling and being like, growing in network marketing and everything. So it's like, again, she's always smiling. She's always laughing. There's consistency in her photos. She really showcases like the lifestyle aspect of what this could do for her and what she's passionate about. Maybe travel is not something you're passionate about. So what are you passionate about? Maybe it's recipes, or maybe it's cooking, or maybe it is hiking with your team, or maybe it's fitness. Whatever that is to you, start to identify those core values, and then how can you create the aesthetic built around your core values that's professional. So just to recap that part, again, look at the top, well, I wrote 9 photos, but look at the top 12 photos and start to create more of a theme with it. If you go to mine, like I put hot pink and everything. I don't even wear hot pink, but I have an app that changes a lot of my things pink because pink is a top selling color. So I'm like, I always want to put pink in because it's visually appealing for people. Celebrate your team. I'm trying to do this a lot more through my Insta stories, but showcase your team. Even if it is not your downline yet and you're still building, they're still your team. So take the celebrations that we post in our business pages, watch my Insta stories, watch some of the leaders' Insta stories, copy them and repost them on yours and celebrate our team for content. Lead with the business. I 100% don't just get stuck leading with the product. It gets old and like people don't necessarily want to keep seeing people just like lose weight or talk about health and wellness or lose 5 pounds. Like it's not sexy all the time. It should be 20% of your content is that. And the rest of the time you're talking about it, lead with the business. Vision cast what this could do for somebody else. Talk about financial freedom and how it's affecting other people. When you don't just say like, you can make $500, but then you really show people making $500, that's powerful. It gives people the opportunity to be like, maybe this really is working. Maybe this could do something for me. You know, Rachel today posted, she made $110 last week. That was huge. So she posted, I made $110 and I lost 6 pounds. There's nothing better. Like showcase both of them. How is it creating more freedom? Physical freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, location freedom. What kind of freedom does that mean to you? Because even though you sometimes get used to it, people are craving that. Like some days I could just get used to like being at my house or a coffee shop working and it's like, yeah, I still feel like I'm grinding, but then I have to remember I'm not walking into an office every day. I'm not sitting in traffic every day. I don't have a boss telling me what to do. I have all the freedom in the world that I want. I need to post about that more and allow people in to see that because other people are craving those solutions. How are you creating more impact? Turn influence into impact. Be an influence and influence people to make a decision by creating impact. How are you thinking bigger? How is network marketing impacting people's lives? How are the products impacting people's lives? And legacy, like I've changed our team name now to Legacy, the Legacy Lifestyle, and really building legacy leaders because that's what we're creating. Yes, you know, maybe you've never even thought about that before. I didn't even used to think about that. I'm like, what legacy do I want to create in my life? Now I am so clear. And I'm like, I want to create a massive legacy and literally change the game of like wealth for the rest of my family and generations to come. I want to leave an imprint in this world and in people's lives. So start to get clear on what impact are you truly wanting to make, and then make that a part of your social media. People buy into the stories. They buy into like, what is it? Why are you doing this? And what is it making you feel? Use filters for consistency. Smile, laugh, show your personality to make you seem more welcoming. Always have a call to action, which we'll go into with power posts, but always make an open door so that they're not just inspired by you, but they actually feel welcome to reach out to you after reading it. We'll give our team we're going to create a team landing page to help you capture emails. Your biggest asset is your database. If social media were to disappear tomorrow, you don't have a business if you've been relying on social media. So make sure you're pulling everything offline and keeping accurate records so that if it were to disappear tomorrow, you still have a business. The goal of all of this is to truly draw attention to your page. when you think of like building an audience, we're really moving away from like, stop just reaching out and messaging people, like cold messaging them, trying to get them to join your network marketing company. Everybody is doing that. I get bombarded like all the time. I'm like, did you not take the time to look at my page and see that I'm a part of one already? Like, do your research. So don't always reach out to people. We'll teach you ways of appropriately like reaching out to people, but more just love on people, add value to people. And when they're ready and they're coming and looking, they know exactly who to go to you, and they're going to come to you. These people, like when you go to your page, like I want you to really identify today or this week, what do you want to be known for? What do you truly, within your audience, within your network, within your community, within your family, within your friendships, what is it that you want people to know you for? If you go to Angie Lee, she has the Angie Lee show. She's one of the top health and wellness coaches. She has her masterminds. If you go to her page, you know exactly what she represents. Her Insta stories, she's a marketing master. She represents like 4 different brands and has My Soul CBD and her courses. That's all she talks about over and over and over. Even if people get sick of it, she stresses, just do it again. Just do it again. Like, I don't care how many times people have heard about Four Sigmatic. If you want to buy it, you know exactly, go to her. She like promotes Organifi. She promotes her Soul CBD and then her courses. And she probably gets annoyed doing it, but she does it over and over and over. And she makes $1 million a year. Amanda Bucci, same thing. She is a top fitness influencer. All she does is talk about her courses, her gym, and a couple products that she's an affiliate for over and over and over. You know exactly what you're going to get from them. And it's because they have new followers all the time. Like, they're constantly building their network. So as these people are coming in, they want to know, like, this is what I'm about. This is what I'm promoting. This is what you get from me. If you want to work with me, this is how you're going to do it. Kayla Kraft, one of the Isagenix millionaires. She now is Mommy Millionaire podcast and masterminds. Same thing. She has unshakable belief. She is out there. She is bold. She is like unstoppable. You might even get annoyed with her, but it's working. And that's why she's a top producer, because she puts herself out there. And she really stresses on her Insta stories. Like, sometimes she'll be in the most random places on Insta stories, but she's very like, I don't care. Like, I'm showing up for my dreams today. Like, you have to be so clear. Your vision has to be so clear that nothing stops you. Like, have that consistency in that. So just to put you into action, take some notes of these. Like, to recap, what do you want to be known for? What influence and impact do you want to have on others? What core values do you represent? What do you want people to feel when they go to your page? What do you want them to take away from your content? What action steps are you going to take this week? And I wanted to add one more tip is, when you're say you're like scrolling through people, this is kind of a random tip. You can now, on the bottom right corner, if you like a photo or you want to remember that person, you can hold down the save option on the bottom right of a photo. And you can now create folders. So as you're starting to network, as you're starting to build, you can start to create folders for prospects. So I can show you one-on-one exactly what I mean and how to do that, so that you can now organize your Instagram so that you can circle back to people later, so that you don't necessarily have to reach out to one person one time to like love on their page, but you can save that so that you can go back to that person and really build that relationship. I'm going to pause really fast before I move to the next thing for content and strategy. Does anybody have any questions?
I do.
Yeah.
Hey, Lauren, it's Melody. I wrote in the comments, I would love a social media makeover.
Yeah.
I haven't been naturally good at it or motivated to spend a lot of time on it until recently, of course. And I really struggle with determining whether or not a photo is adding value or adding clutter. So sometimes I wonder if like photos of my dog is like great because it shows a little bit more about who I am and I really love my dog, or is it just like extra busy nonsense adding to the page? So what do you think about to make those kinds of choices.
I would put like stuff like your dogs in your Insta stories, that it just more shows like the behind the scenes. Look at your Insta stories as like sneaking, like looking behind the curtain, and look at your feed and your Insta stories as like building your business. So it's like, you don't want to have every single post like selling something, but you do want to add value to people. So I think, I mean, it's fine, but you want to make sure the photo and the filter matches the consistency with everything else you're posting, so it just doesn't like stick out like random dogs around everything else. Otherwise, I would always just look at it as like build your business, build your brand, build the value, and then that kind of stuff like your dog and the behind the scenes of what makes you you and your passions and your love, like weave into Insta stories.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can like look, when we're done, I can look at like your Instagram and see what kind of what stands out and what's consistent and what's not.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, or does anybody else have any questions? Okay. Content and storytelling. All of your posts do not have to be long like this. Some of them can just be like 1 sentence or 2 sentences. But try to always be like, how am I adding value? How am I creating impact? How am I educating? Or how am I showcasing what I'm passionate about when it comes to your business? When you are writing posts that are like strong power posts, here's a great way to break it up, because a lot of people just start to like clump it all together and it's just big. So for one, download the app called Later, Later, and it lets you post. You upload your photo into it and it lets you write out the content so that you can keep the paragraphs separated. So if you ever look at people and you're like, how does it separate theirs? But when I post on Instagram, it's like one chunk cluttered together. It's because they're using the app called Later. So then you're going to break up what you want to say. And it doesn't have to be a long paragraph, but this will help you just organize your thoughts. Look at it like a sandwich. So the top piece of bread is like that top sentence. Make it the most bold, sexy, capturing statement that people just scroll. We're in an information overload society. People are scrolling through social media. Half the time they're not even reading your stuff. They're just liking your photo. So if you can stop them from scrolling with a powerful, bold statement, it'll capture their attention so they read it. So and make it usually a question like, Angie had a really good one on her page one day. It was like, I sat in my car bawling over eating a handful of almonds. You're scrolling, you're like, what? It like lures you in to make you want to read more. And it was all about like her developing an eating disorder from fitness competitions and how she cried over eating too many almonds. Well, the whole story was super powerful, but it was that bold capturing statement that lures you in. Or saying something like, have you ever felt like blah, 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 and like put something that's very specific. Or maybe you want to talk about isobiome, be like, talk about like gut health or something powerful, but pick a powerful statement that draws people's attention. Then the next part is like the lettuce. It's talking about the pain points and challenges that relate to that person. Have you ever felt blah, 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 whatever you're specifically talking about. Relate to their pain points and challenges. When you get really clear on your avatar, you need to create an entire list of this. So if your avatar is moms, write down every pain point, every challenge, everything that moms, like most moms, go through. And then on the other piece of paper, write down all of the solutions for that person. If it's a young millennial, write down all the pain points and challenges and everything that they might be going through or that they don't want to. Like right now, it's like they don't want to work a 9 to 5. They don't want to have a boss. They don't want to go, they don't want student loans. Write all of that stuff down. And then what is the solution? They want to create a life of freedom. They want flexibility. They want to work wherever they want, when they want. So when you are so clear on that avatar and their pain points, challenges, and then the solutions, this will help you 10 times more. Then the second part of it will be, or the third part will be, what you went through that is relatable to them. This is like stepping into the hero between this one and the next one. It's like stepping into like being the hero, being like, this is how you overcame it. How can you relate to them? Like, I've been there too. This is my experience. This is what I went through. Relate, and then be like, this is what I found. So if you're talking about your weight loss journey, then be like, yeah, I struggled with that too, and get really clear on what you struggled with that's relatable to your avatar, and then be like, this is how I overcame it. This is what Isagenix did for me. I now have lost 25 pounds and I've never felt better in my skin. And then say something like, do you agree? Can you relate to this? How many of you have ever felt this way? Bring them back in and engage them so that, again, they're watching it being like, God, I feel like she's talking to me. I feel like that's exactly what I went through. I feel like she knows exactly what I'm going through right now. And you could be talking about anything. You could be talking about the business opportunity. You could be talking about your job. You could be talking about anything in your life that's a value that you really just want to like bring and attract those people to you. The whole purpose of this is, who is your avatar? How are you attracting them to you? How are you adding value? How are you showing them, I've overcome this so I can help you too? Maybe you're not the expert yet in network marketing, but you have your success. Show them what you've gone through. And then the last part is always a call to action. Always leave the door open so that they feel like they can reach out to you. Say something like, have you ever felt this way too? I would love for you to like blah, blah, blah. If it's a power post and it's your first post, be like, I would love for you to join me on this journey. What are some of your goals? Or does this resonate with you? Drop your favorite emoji if this speaks to you. Something that creates engagement, to either like the post, comment on the post, or direct message you, or circle back to your website. But always have a call to action that is allowing them the open door to be able to be like, this isn't just what I'm going through, but I want to help you go through it too and overcome this as well. Here's some content examples. So Amanda Bucci that I talked about earlier, here's a great example. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's going to break this into the sandwich. Her very first luring sentence is, a lot of us are stuck in the mud. So it's like, I wonder what this is about. We get in our own way because we're brought into the belief that we can't get out of the mud. To change the way that they're thinking and get to a place of personal empowerment to change. So she goes into like those pain points and then says, where might you be stuck? She gives exact questions that is like, are you convincing yourself that you can't post something because it will attract the wrong person to your page? Are you telling yourself that you can't change the way you've been offering your program because that's what people expect? She goes through like the top pain points that her audience is struggling with. And then she says, as our guest speaker Ashley shared during their talk, and then goes into, the truth is we are allowed to post what you feel, and goes into like her thought process on it. And then the whole end of it is she starts selling her course and says, are you in? So the whole thing is just to sell her mastermind, but she adds value so that you learn something from it, you take away something from it, you're inspired, you resonate, you're like, I can relate to this. And then she lures you in to buy her mastermind. Here's a couple Power Post examples. This one I helped with Haley just this last week. She's brand new. She had over 120 people like her photo. And all day today, she's been reaching out and messaging all the people that liked her photo to be like, what resonated with you? What are your goals? And really bringing it back to like, let's go now, you've now seen what I'm going through. Now let's help you. So she said, like, I've been watching my friend, or started actually as like turning one day into today. And then she goes into like, I've been watching my friend Lauren's journey the past few years. It's like what I did. Then she had the pleasure of meeting me. Now it's what she's creating and what she wants. And then it goes into, what are your goals? What are your dreams? Who do you want to be? What do you want to create? What would building a life of freedom mean to you? So she circles it back to that person to engage them, and then has the call to action at the end and a powerful photo that draws attention. Here's Andrea, completely different style. Andrea's like whole thing is more empowering older women that they can like own their life, that they can feel amazing, that they don't have to give in. So she talks about aging slower and having better skin and thicker hair and supporting stem cells, talks all about like the Isagenix, and says, I'll be 56 this year and I'm not asking for compliments. So then she shows like, hey, I've already overcome this. I'm doing this. Let's help you. And then it says, anyone who ages needs this in their bodies like yesterday. And then I didn't put it in here, but she had a call to action on it. And then a photo that shows it. This is Jessie's. I won't read this one, but the whole thing is like her first struggle. This was her very first post that she ever put up. Was so bold. It was transparent. She put up like a photo that she used to be rocking it, and then she gained some weight, and now she's starting her journey over. And she's very, very transparent. She got so many people reaching out from this. She's building her team now and really growing it because she was so transparent and bold. This is a perfect example of allowing people in the journey. She did not wait for the after photo. That after photo was her first photo like 2 years ago. She's allowing people to be a part of her journey. And now she's training for a fitness competition. So she posts about the Insta stories. She talks about going to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. She shows it. So people are like, I watched your transformation. You've inspired me. It's not just like putting up one post and then quitting. This is something you have to be so consistent. You have to look at Isagenix as a long-term thing so that people can watch your journey. Where the people she'll attract in a year from now after like transforming this far, and then all of a sudden 2 years from now when her like lifestyle starts to change because of financial freedom, and then a couple years from now when it grows even more, you're going to attract people based on where you're at in your journey and who you're ready for and who you're ready to lead. So it's like, just keep going and just keep showcasing what you're going through. Here's Laura, celebrating 43 years old in 1 week from today. It's all about like rocking her 40s, and that all these people used to tell her like, oh, you know, you're everything's downhill from 40. And they used to say all these things, and she's owning it. Look at her. She's like, I've recreated. I'm not buying into what people said was going to happen after having 3 kids, or that my metabolism was going to slow down. So she's putting that out there, being transparent, being bold, but then always a call to action to be like, you can have this too. You can recreate yourself at any moment too. Okay, let's move into Insta stories. Insta stories are the game changer for selling. Like, it is the sneak peek, like behind the scenes, subliminal messaging of like you, the best way to sell. It is the best marketing strategy, and you can keep doing it over and over and over, keep showcasing the products over and over. Even if you feel like people are getting sick of them, you just never know. That one 15-second clip about you talking about your shake every morning just may be exactly what they need to hear that day. But get creative in your Insta stories. Take the time. Just don't post random things. Start to get creative with different themes and being like, okay, what do I really want to do? Add music. Like, you can swipe up. I'll show you how to use Insta stories later, but you can swipe up. You can add music. You can add glitter. You can add the little GIFs to it. You can add cool lettering to it. Take the time to create Insta stories that add value so it lures people in. It makes you want to watch them. If you want to watch somebody that is like dominating Insta stories and has built $1 million business, go to Jatana Jackson. She's one of the top people for Beachbody, and she's seen like all over the world for her Insta stories because she has dance parties all the time. And she's like built her whole business around them. She makes a shake every morning, but because she incorporates music and dancing to it, it draws people in. They want to watch it over and over and over. If you were to go make a shake, you're doing the exact same thing, but she just makes it fun. She makes her job look sexy. Most of us just sit behind a computer all day and we're networking. We're on 3-way calls. We're getting people started. We're coaching. It's not a sexy, glamorous job. So how can you make this life look more glamorous to people? So, because either way, it's more glamorous than people sitting behind a desk at their job. So how can you showcase like what we really get to have, the freedom that we really do have? Like, make it fun, show your personality, show people the sneak peek behind the scenes of like what it is that you really want, or who you are. So like Melody said about the dog, like, show your dog. Like, what do you love about your dog? People fall in love with that. Some of the top people that are featured for Insta stories, it's because they've made their dog Insta famous, because people fall in love with their dog. Emily Bavra talks about that a lot, how she'll meet random people on the street or through Isagenix, and people will be like, how's Hugo? And she's like, how do you know my dog? It's because she puts her dog on Insta stories and people are watching. It's like your own reality show. Look at Insta stories like your own reality show. How can you lure people in to show who you are? Because you want to attract people that want to be around you. They want to be coached by you. They love your personality. So the more that you can show it, the more you're going to attract people that are just like you. Here's some examples, like morning must-haves. Like, do like your top favorite things. Write down themes for the week that you're like, okay, this would be a really fun theme. And then get creative. Take fun photos. Put the time into it. It works. Top reasons to cleanse. To feature all week or all day, be like the top reasons to cleanse. Here's tip number 1. Here's tip number 2. Do your favorite recipes. On Mondays, do like Monday motivations and do your top favorite things of what keeps you motivated. Not a quote of like, oh, this is a motivational quote, but how do you stay motivated? How do you create motivation for yourself? How do you hold yourself accountable and show that? Maybe Tuesdays, it's Tuesday transformations. Showcase business transformations and success stories that you can find on isafyi.com/recognition. There's all the success stories. Or go to all the Isa Body and do before and after, show like all different transformations. On Wednesday, do Wellness Wednesdays or Wealth Creation Wednesdays. and Thursdays come up with something. Fridays do Freedom Friday or Flex Friday. Saturdays do have a theme for every week. Sundays do gratitude. Whatever you want, but get really creative. Do a whole little day on why network marketing. Most people don't even know what network marketing is. They hear about it. So use the opportunity to educate people on your Insta stories and show why network marketing, why Isagenix. Do a feature on the founders. Do a feature on like our vision of impacting world health. Do a feature on the science behind Isagenix and what makes us different. Do a feature on corporate headquarters or how we're creating 300 millionaires or whatever it is to you that speaks. Get creative, do the research, and then find creative ways to post it or talk about it. Go live, maybe once a week just to start. Be like, hey, I'm just going to go live and talk about one thing I'm passionate about. That's what I really need to get better at. Talk about what freedom means to you. To me, freedom means choices. So maybe like show a vision board of all the things that you're working toward or how you've created more freedom in your life or freedom in your body. Like, what has Isagenix done for your body? What's your why? What drives you? I'm actually going to do that this week and like showcase my family and like why I'm choosing to work so hard now to create a life of freedom for my future. Do the top tips of losing weight with Isagenix. Do the top tips to make more money in 2018. Do why Isagenix right now. Do feature the team in the spotlight. Follow your enrolling sponsor. If you haven't necessarily built your downline yet, we tag our people in it. Use it. Absolutely. You can snapshot and repost and feature. They're your team too. Like showcase their success. The rave right now is the whole celery juice craze. A lot of people are posting about celery juice. So instead, post about Isagenix greens and show, okay, you're blending all this celery juice. It's costing you so much. It's messy. It takes time when it takes 15 seconds to do Isa greens. So maybe on like Thursday, do Transformation Thursday, but do alternatives. Instead of celery juice, do Isagenix greens. Instead of a fruit smoothie, do Isa fruits. Instead of blank, do blank to showcase how we use the products. Do business of the future, do testimonials. Testimonials are huge. That's what I'm also going to work on this week too, is getting quick little testimonials from each person in our downline and having like a whole folder saved in my highlight reel of testimonials. Testimonials sell and you can use them over and over and over. People want to see the testimonials. And I'm not talking a before and after photo. I'm talking videos, 15, 30-second videos from your team saying why Isagenix has changed their life. Next, create a highlight reel. So on the bottom of your Instagram right here, you can create a highlight reel. You can make little icons using Canva. This is a stylist that I know. I just used her as an example, but she has like extensions, color, promotions, products. You can make those little things on Canva, but pick what means to you. What are those core values that we talked about? What represents your brand? What represents your business? What are your favorite things that you want to feature so that when somebody new comes to your page, it's right there. So you could do testimonials and they can literally click on that and it is all your saved testimonials. You create highlight reels by uploading content and into your Insta stories. It saves in your archive. You create a new highlight reel, you edit the highlight reel, and then you can select all previous uploaded Insta stories and save them into those categories. So create what you want. Maybe have one for just freedom. What does that represent? Is that your team? Is it being able to go hiking during the day with your team because you have time freedom? Is it working at coffee shops because you can? Is it creating a laptop lifestyle? Is it financial freedom and buying your dream car? What has Isagenix financially done for you? What does that represent for you? Do one for family. Showcase your family. Allow the behind the scenes sneak peek into your life. Do love. Like I have one that it just shows like my favorite photos of Chris and I. Do your team, do community, do transformations, testimonials, real people, real results. Maybe do one for wellness, one for energy, one for vitality, and show your favorite products. Do time freedom, physical freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, travel, hobbies, products, solutions. These are just examples, but like hopefully it's helping you give some ideas on like what really represents you. All right, let's go into, I'm like 15 more minutes. Let's go into connecting and we can all do a whole separate follow-up call just on this. But with Isagenix, you have the power to build an unlimited business, an unlimited audience with an uncapped income. We have more power than ever before to make a lot of money, build a big team, have a global business, and create a lot of impact. It is all about inbound and outbound marketing. So we've been talking about it a lot already, but inbound is attraction marketing. You are like pumping value into your content. You're educating people, you're inspiring people, you're empowering people so that when they look forward to going to your page. That's my mission. It's like, I want people to like, when they get up in the morning or during the day, they're like, hey, I want to go over to her page to see what she's been up to. That's what you want to create, is that inspiration effect that empowers people, that you're adding value to their day and making their day better. So that's attraction marketing. Same thing though. They want to check you out so that it turns into a sale. And that's what we mean by it. So you don't have to go message a bunch of people when they're coming to you if you're doing it right. So the more you can start to focus on this and really build this, they will come to you. They start reaching out. I promise you. I had like 3 people yesterday reach out because Haley had posted her power post and she tagged me in it. So then people from her post started following me and they reached out to me, and we're getting on a call tonight and tomorrow with some of her people. So it works, but it's like adding that value to people. So in the bottom right corner, you can't really see it, but basically it's like, hey, I would love to learn more about this. You don't have to explain this huge long text of what Isagenix is. Just be like, oh my gosh, what are some of your goals? I would love to share more with you. They'll respond with a couple of their goals and be like, what's your schedule like this week? Let's hop on a call. Immediately move it to a call. Your energy is what sells. They need to hear your voice. They need to hear your story. Build the personal connection with them. Move it to a phone call. Outbound marketing is reaching out to people, but it's not necessarily direct messaging them. It's going to people's pages and loving on their pages. So use hashtags like Google. Find your favorite hashtags of where your avatar lives. So if it's mom, maybe do hashtag mom life, or hashtags, Google the top hashtags for moms, or top hashtags for millennials, or top hashtags for athletes. Whatever it is that speaks to you, find those hashtags, go under those hashtags, and start finding the people that resonate with you. Go on their page, follow their page, love on their photos, and reach out to them. But how you're going to reach out to them is just like yesterday, I started following this girl. I was like, hey girl, she lives in the OC. And I'm like, what do you do? She wrote back, she works for a law firm. And I was like, how long have you worked there? She's like, over a year and a half. I'm like, do you love it? She's like, yeah, it's okay. And I said, what would you rather be doing? And so we're kind of going back and forth so that it gives me an opportunity to be like, maybe you'd be really good at what I do. And then she'll be like, what do you do? I'm like, let's hop on a call. Like, if anything, let's just collaborate. So build the relationship. The same way you build a relationship offline is the same way you build a relationship online. So really go and be like, how can I add value to this? Move it to a call, to collaborate, to support one another, to educate. You can also be bold and be like, maybe I love what I do. I help other people earn more income and be healthier. Would you be open to learning more? Let's hop on a call. I can share more with you. And if anything, you'll make a new friend, so that it takes the pressure off. Like, hey, just be open to learning more. And if anything, let's just be friends. Maybe we can support each other in other ways. So when you're doing outbound, you're building relationships. You can also go to Facebook groups. Find Facebook groups that resonate with you. Maybe there's one on digestive health, and you're really passionate about talking about like the digestive problems in that side, or autoimmune diseases, or that kind of stuff. Maybe it's the mom groups, or maybe it's a neighborhood group, or maybe it's for the beauty industry. Go on Facebook, find those groups, and start to connect. Don't go in there and post like, hi, I work for Isagenix, and start be salesy. Post value. Who's the group? What would speak to them? Post like something with value, and maybe throw in something like, I love working from home, or I love my online business, or I love helping people do blah, blah, blah. That it creates engagement or curiosity for people to be like, what do you do? Then direct message them. Same thing. Start the conversation. Build the relationship. Move it to a phone call. I could go on and on about inbound and outbound, but that's like basically will help get you going. And then we can all do like a follow-up call after. Okay, some of the top apps that I recommend to do a lot of this is Canva. Canva is amazing. You can create Facebook cover photos. You can create marketing material, presentations. That's how I made this presentation, was in Canva. You can create Instagram posts. You can create Insta stories. You can create menus. Everything that you could possibly want marketing-wise, it's in there. You can upload your photos. You can, it's amazing. So go play with that. what's amazing though is Isagenix in February is coming out with a new social media app that's going to like be just like Canva, but 10 times better, specifically for Isagenix with Isagenix templates. Hype type. If you ever look at my Insta stories, I add like cool type basically to it that like shows up and is all cool. It's hype type. So go to hype, download hype type, upload your photo, and all of a sudden you can click different types of lettering, and then you save it as a video, and then you upload it to your Insta stories. So play with that one. Later is the app I was talking about earlier that you can use to write content so that it separates the content out and doesn't clutter it together. Snapseed, Lightroom, Camera Plus are all amazing filters and different apps that you can use to like add lighting effects. Split photo. If you ever see like, how does that someone on Instagram have like 9 photos as like one whole photo or one logo, and it takes up like bigger ones? You can go to split photo and upload a photo, and it splits it into 9, and then it tells you exactly how to post it so that it shows up the right way on your page. Cut story is a great for Insta stories. If you want to film like a short video, it will cut it into like 15 to 30 second clips so that there's no break when you're uploading it to Insta stories. However, Insta stories did just change it so that it doesn't cut you off after 15 seconds. It lets you keep going. Filters, Pop Social and First Look Social are huge. So huge. If you want to grow your following and you're seeing how are all these people growing their following so fast, they're using Pop Social or for First Look Social to grow their following. You pay a small amount per month. I think Pop Social is like $50. First Look Social is I think like 37. It is the smartest investment you can do. I know it sounds crazy to invest in social media, but it's a really smart investment you can do to grow your following. You click basically your top hashtags of who you want to attract and the top people that you want to attract those type of followers. So if you're wanting to attract millennials, who are the top 5 millennials that people follow, and then your hashtags might be like millennial, like financial freedom, work from anywhere, that type of stuff. What happens is then during the day, the Pop Social and First Look are constantly running and working for you and building your following. I get like 100 new followers a day, and it is the exact demographic that I want. For a couple of years, for like a year, I've used it. It was first I did all beauty industry. So all of a sudden I have all stylists, all salon owners following me. And it's legit. It is not like weird people from other countries. It's super legit. They're like amazing people I built relationships with all over the country and world. And now I changed it to all online marketers. So use that for who you want to attract, and it will grow it for you. Okay, so this week, what are you going to do this week to get into action? Create your color palette and what speaks to you. Create your vision board for who you are. Block out time each week to write content. I block out like a couple hours on a Saturday, and then I just write content when I feel like I'm in an inspired state. It's really hard to write content at the spare of the moment. So do it when you're feeling it. Like take the time to just write like a whole week's worth of content. Find someone to take photos of you. Like Chris and I blocked out Friday afternoons to start to go take more photos so that I have them on file. So take the time to create professional photos that represent you. Play with the apps, create content for Insta stories for the week, having fun with it. Be consistent, follow up with everyone and add them to your list. Don't post and pray. If you do a power post once a week, do it on Sunday nights or Monday nights, and make sure to go back to the people that liked or commented and just reach out and be like, thank you for the love on my post. Like, what really resonated with you? What are your goals right now? And then leave that conversation open and see what they say. And then do your best to be like, I would love to share more with you. Are you free to jump on a call this week? And then move it to a phone call. If they're not, and they're like, no, I'm not really interested right now, add them to your list and follow up with them later, or save them into one of those folders in Instagram so that you can circle back to them as a prospect. And then just love on people. Go to people that you want to attract to your business, or you just want to like build or following with, or just love on them. Like go to their pages, love on their Insta stories, comment on their Insta stories, love on their photos, comment on their photos. Like be what you want to attract. If you want more engagement, be someone that's engaging on other people's. When people write on my posts and engage with me, what happens? I'm like, oh, who's this person? That was a nice comment. don't just say, love your photo, like ask a question. Be like, tell me more about blah, 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 and create a conversation so that they want to engage with you. Okay, that's it. Do you guys have any questions? I know it's a ton of information and we can always go back and recap a lot of it. But what right now resonates with you the most?
I have more questions.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
I can move it off of this too.
I am really interested in this folder, adding to this like list or folder on your Instagram. So
yeah,
maybe that's like a separate, I mean, I don't know how you would,
I can show you.
share. Oh, like,
Okay, pull up your Instagram right now.
I'm on my phone.
Oh, okay. I'll walk you through
I guess, I mean, yeah, I could look at it.
Okay, I'm gonna show you. Here's a hair photo. I'm on my news feed, okay? This isn't mine, this is somebody else's. Okay? So I'm just like scrolling on my news feed. So say I go to this person and I'm like, you could do this, like sometimes I do that for styles too. I'm like, oh, I like her outfit, I save it. Or I'm like, oh, I love that quote, or I love that content, and I save it for like future content strategies. So like say, let's use Emily Barbara, for example. Say you're like, oh my God, that was such a good post Emily just did. I want to remember that. So say you go to her page, and in the bottom right corner under the photo, it looks like a little ribbon. And you'll hold it, and all of a sudden it's going to say save to, and it has like an arrow, and you can create folders. So like I have Isagenix prospects, I have my vision board, I have content ideas, I have different countries. This is a really good one, you guys. If you have people that follow you from different countries, start saving them in the country so that when Isagenix launches in future countries, you have a whole folder of people to reach out to.
Brilliant.
Tags, podcast ideas, influencers, mastermind, online, blah, blah, blah. A lot of things. So basically you just save it. You create a folder of what you want to call it. So be like Isagenix prospects, and it saves it all in there. So then when you're like, who do I want to like build a relationship with, or who am I moving to, like wanting to like, have them be a part of my team, then just go into your prospects and be like, okay, I'm going to go love on these 5 people this week. And that just means I'm going to go to their pages. I'm going to read their content. I'm going to comment on it. I'm going to engage with this person. I'm going to add value to them. I'm going to build that relationship with them.
That's amazing. I love that. Thanks for sharing that. And then my second question.
Oh, yeah. No, you're fine.
My second question is about the highlight reel. Can you clarify if those are photos that you've already posted in your feed and you're adding them to a highlight reel, or is that like a totally separate second kind of post that you're making?
Great question. The only way to create a highlight reel is from the photos you've posted in your Insta stories or videos you've posted in your Insta stories. So if you haven't created a highlight reel yet, you'll go to the highlight part and it says highlight with a plus sign. Mm-hmm. You'll press that. And then right there, it's all of your archive of anything that you've ever posted on your Insta stories. So you can go back through all of your Insta stories and pick the specific ones that you want to save. So say you want to do team and you want to feature your Isagenix team or anything that you guys have done together. You can go back to all the Insta stories that you have done and just select them, and they're going to save it under that specific one that you can name team. Or if you want to create a new folder or a new highlight, like this week, say maybe you want to create one for team, then go and then create an Insta story tomorrow and be like, hey guys, I just want to feature my team in Isagenix and why I love them so much. And then post 10 photos of your team and why you love them. Then they're already in your archive of your Insta stories, then create the highlight reel after. If you want like certain icons, go to Canva, choose a background, then Google like icons. So like I Googled laptop lifestyle icon and a little computer sign came up. So I saved it to my computer and then I upload it into Canva and then I add that computer icon onto the background and I save it. Then you just upload it to your Insta stories and save it. I know it sounds complicated, but it's not once you do it.
This has been great. Thank you so much.
Totally. I'm saving this. You can always reference back to it, or you can always just jump on a one-on-one with me too.
Okay. I took screenshots of my Zoom call too.
Oh, cool. Awesome. And then IGTV, we won't go into that too much. A lot of people don't use IGTV, but if you always want to do a video, you can do one in there. And they just have to be under 10 minutes. So features them like why I love Isagenix or my top 5 products or whatever you want to do. They just have to be under 10-minute videos, and then they can save under your IGTV. For content in your newsfeed, always put a location. I know that sounds weird, even if like all your photos are in Denver, put a location. There's something about the tag that changes your algorithms. So your biggest thing is you want Instagram to like see you. And so the more you engage with other people, the more you respond to comments faster, the more times you use hashtags, the more times you tag photos, the more times you do location, the more your algorithms change. So like always at the top of your photo, press add location and put wherever the photo was taken. And then put your content in, click tag photo, and tag everything that's relevant. Tag Vegas if it's in Vegas. Tag, like for me, it's like I want to attract online marketers that are female entrepreneurs between the ages of 25 to 35. So I tag like Boss Babe. I tag like 10 different like pages that I want to attract those followers. Then put hashtags, put like 5 to 10 hashtags that speak to those two so that you create more followers. If you're new to social media and you're like, what the hell is a hashtag? What happens is people, especially young people, don't use Google anymore. They use hashtags as their Google search engine. So they go to Instagram and they're going to put in hashtag Denver stylist, and they're going to find their stylist that way instead of Googling it. So use the hashtags of the people you want to attract. I also stress to people, like I work with salons a lot. I stress, and like if you want your post to be seen, tag Denver Broncos during the Super Bowl, or tag the whatever in the Super Bowl, because people are going to be scrolling through football and they're going to see his gorgeous hair phone and be like, huh. So tag what's relevant. If it's a holiday, tag the holiday. If it's a Monday, tag Monday. Like tag what's relevant, or you Google top hashtags to use for specifics so that people see those hashtags as they're using it as Google and they follow you. Any other questions?
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Darren.
Yeah.
I have 2 questions for you.
Yes.
Yeah, so first, that's a lot of information. That's lovely. I will probably have to like redo my whole profile. And so I have 2 questions. First, should I remove everything that I have already on there, or just put after that and overwrite? Or
Yeah, just start fresh. You don't have to go back and delete anything. If you want like a clean slate, you could pick one powerful photo that you love and upload it to split photo, and then upload it to your Instagram so it takes over 9, so it just moves everything down, and then from there forward is all clean. Or just start fresh, and like that's what I did when I started to change like my filters. Now you'd never know unless you really scroll deep, but you just have to start in the consistency of it. And if you're posting like one photo every day, just in like 3 weeks, no one will even notice.
okay, makes sense. Yeah. And my other question is, with all of that, how can I just reach out to you to ask you for advice or something?
Totally. I will put my phone number, and you can find me on social media. I
already followed you.
Where's chat on here?
On the iPad, that's up top.
Okay. So my Instagram is Lauren Kelly. My cell. You can text me anytime.
Thanks.
And then my full name on Facebook. And you can message me. Yeah. And just like you guys can snapshot things and be like, is this like, am I on the right track with this? Or like, maybe to practice, like take visuals off of Pinterest for a color palette and then upload it into a collage so that you have like 9, and be like, is before you post, like upload your photos into a collage first and be like, what does that look like? Is this the look that I want to create? Is this the feeling that I want to create? And then it's like right there, you just mapped out your next 9 photos. Do that every Saturday and be like, okay, this is what I want to create. You can always text it to me and be like, am I on the right page with this? Or you could always send me like a post that you want to do for a power post. I love editing power posts. So be like, this is kind of my thought process on it. And I can like edit it and be like, here, maybe try this. So use that as much as possible. or tag me on Insta stories, I'll retag. Like get your team, like your direct upline and your downline and your sidelines. Like support your team. Be like, if you see one of your people post something, snapshot it and repost it on yours and tag that person. And like, we're all one team. So like support it. Follow the top millionaires in Isagenix. Like they're amazing with content. Like use them for ideas. Like we all post so differently, but so the same. Like use them for like to get strategies and ideas, but then put it into your own way. Don't just copy it because that might not fit your demographic, but it will inspire you in some way to be like, oh, but I would create it this way, and then take the time to create it. More people watch your Insta stories than your news feed too. Okay, anyone else? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to stop the recording.